We have not been able to locate the child as of yet. We are in contact with the mom, but we've not been able to determine the whereabouts of the 9-year-old.
We want answers! We want answers!
The route revealed. Detectives releasing brand new information about the road trip that led to Melody Buzzard's disappearance. Plus, was she trafficked or killed? Our investigators are weighing in on what could have happened to the 9-year-old. Plus, from anchor to arrested, a former St. Louis news anchor charged with murdering her own mom. Also this hour, we've got eyes now on mother Rebecca Harrow as her husband is sentenced for the murder of their son, little baby Emmanuel. So will we find out where his remains are? It's all coming up next for you right here on Opening Statements. Good Tuesday morning to you and welcome to Opening Statements. I'm Julie Grant. Are you ready for some coffee and some court? It is that time where we get you all warmed up and ready to go for the big day ahead on Court TV Live. And we've got a big show to kick things off. Grab that cup of coffee right now. It's time for my opening statement. Are there no more lawyers left for Sarah Boone? Did she drive them all away? Judging by her behavior, I think she might have. I think there may not be any more lawyers left in the state of Florida who are willing to represent her. After lawyer number 12 departed, things are in limbo, according to Ms. Boone, as she just penned another letter, that's right, yet another letter to the court asking who her next attorney is. Lucky number 13. And asking what is the status of her case on appeal. Those questions are valid if you're convicted killer Sarah Boone and you're still trying to blame everyone else for your crimes. But the question that I have is, when will she finally stop torturing these attorneys? Florida's running out of options for her, I think. In all seriousness, this woman should do what narcissists cannot do, and that is self-reflection. The great Sarah Boone should ask herself if she would be happier representing herself. George Torres's family has been through enough pain and heartache because of her actions. She refused to take responsibility for her crimes, and she put them through the pain of a trial. And now she's looking to keep the blame game going and hoping to be victorious on appeal. Well, I hope she loses, I hope she remains in prison, and I hope that George Torres's children are doing okay and that they are continuing to heal. That is my opening statement this Tuesday. Let me know if you like it. Right now, it's time for your daily docket.
Be strong, baby. You can't hold on to this forever. Yeah, I know it takes time. It's not easy, but time heals too. Be strong, hun. At approximately 7:44 a.m., Matthew Paul writes, yes, thanks, hun. In life, there is a time for many things. Now is grieving time.
In Wisconsin, the defense case resumes this morning in the bad boyfriend murder trial for defendant Matthew Paul. This guy is accused of killing his longtime girlfriend, Stephanie Pavlons, and then hiding her body in the woods. We're going to see if this defendant wants to testify today. Court's going to start up in our next hour at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. In Tennessee, we've got jury selection continuing in the murder trial for Latasha Daniels. She's accused in the murder of a pastor and the attempted murder of his wife. And in Colorado, the state's case continues this morning in the father figure murder trial for Darren Threlkill. Now, he's accused of killing his girlfriend's 6-year-old son, Martin Osinski. Now, let's turn to your top story this morning. We've got brand new developments to share with you in the case of missing Melody Buzzard. The Santa Barbara, California Sheriff's Office revealing a brand new route map and some brand new surveillance photos of Melody's mom, Ashley Buzzard. Come to your television set. Take a look at this. This is from that California rental car business. back on October the 7th. And as you can see, both Melody and Ashley are wearing wigs on this same day. Why? Detectives confirmed that Ashley left California with Melody in a 2024 Chevrolet Malibu with California plates. Law enforcement believe that the two traveled as far as Nebraska with a return trip to Kansas. Detectives have now confirmed that Melody was last seen along the return route via video surveillance on October the 9th in the region between the Colorado-Utah border. Okay, so now we know that on the 9th, she is still alive, thank God. The Sheriff's Office releasing this map. You see it here. The vehicle stops on or around the 9th in Green River, Utah, Panguitch, Utah, Northwest Arizona, Primm, Nevada, Rancho Cucamonga, California. With the new information being released, we're asking, could this possibly be a human trafficking case? Or could it be a homicide case? Or could it be something else? Let's bring in our very seasoned law enforcement experts. He's a retired police commander with the Nassau County, New York K-9 unit, Lieutenant Mike Gould, also the owner of Houndstown, USA, and a K-9 expert. Also, private investigator with Black Ops Private Investigators, Manuel Gomez, also served in the NYPD and in our military. Good morning to you, gentlemen, and thank you for being on the show. So I want to start with that photograph, because we've seen the photo of Melody before wearing the wig, where she's got straighter hair. She's got that beautiful natural curly hair. And then now we're seeing Mom in the picture. And this morning I'm talking to my incredible line producer, Katie, and she's saying, wonder why they didn't show Mom before. And I said, you know what, Katie, that's gonna be the first question I ask our investigators. So why do you think the investigators didn't include both Mom and Melody here in this picture for all of us to see? Lieutenant Gould, would you start off our conversation, please?
Yeah, sure, Julie. Thanks for having me. So regarding that first question, I think the media in this case, and in most cases, they kind of have to, the investigators, I should say, have to spoon feed the media. They can't give everything away. I think they know, obviously, a lot more than what they are telling us now, of course. Regarding the wigs, I mean, you suggested yesterday about human trafficking, and I kind of dismissed it as a mother would never do that. But after reflecting, I'm like the nosy neighbor that lives next door, and I started thinking a little bit more. I don't, in some regard, I don't even see the resemblance of Melody in that photo. I'm not sure why these exaggerated wigs would be used. You can walk around with a COVID mask right now and a hoodie and hide your identity without as much suspicion as a big haired wig.
That's an excellent point, Lieutenant. And, you know, yesterday you and I continued our conversation off camera, which was great, you know, about Melody. And to your point just now, the photos from the rental car place, you're right, you kind of look at it and go, is this the child we see in the other photograph? It looks like a school picture that's been circulating by the FBI and by the news media largely across the U.S. There it is. And I think that this must be years ago, because I'm looking at her teeth and I'm thinking they look like baby teeth to me. And so I'm thinking that this photo must be old. I don't know how many years old. We don't have the benefit of that information at CourtTV. But Manuel Gomez, what say you about this comparison? Is this the same girl here?
I was a little bit skeptical, but I do agree with you. The picture to the right looks like a baby's teeth of about 5 years old. Okay, so I doubt that picture was 2 years old. The picture to the left looks like a girl who was about maybe, 12. So it's kind of a little hard to determine what the year was, but it's definitely, like you said, an extremely baby picture. And the other thing is, Julie, but I have to agree with you. I believe this was a human trafficking case. And the reason why, Julie, is because she took a 27-hour drive, a one-way trip to drop off her daughter to two areas which have an infamous problem of human trafficking, which is Nebraska and Utah. So I am like 80% sure. But the problem I have, Julie, that bothers me the most is that what do you have to do in California to get arrested? You can have a body of a 14-year-old girl in the back of your Tesla and you don't get arrested. You can have your daughter not go to school for a year and tell the FBI and the police, I'm not going to answer where she is, and you still don't get arrested. What do you have to do? This is why I'm still offering a $10,000 reward for any information to this girl. Let me say that again, $10,000. I will pay it directly to anyone that is information that we can find this girl.
And that's very generous of you, Manuel. Thank you. So it seems that the three of us here all have suspicions about trafficking, that mom might have taken her to another state for potentially that sinister purpose. So I want to add another set of facts in and see what you both think. So we know that when they left the rental car business, that car had a California plate. On October the 8th, so they left the rental business on the 7th, on the 8th, it had a New York license plate. The plate seen on the car does not belong to that vehicle, does not belong to Ashley Buzzard. Investigators think it was a false plate, a switched out plate at some point to avoid detection, right? So then when the vehicle came back to the agency in California, 3 days later, the California plate was still on it. Mike Gould, what do you think about this?
Right. Well, this adds a really significant aspect to this, because this was clearly premeditated. She had to pack the plate before she left. I'm assuming that. I don't, unless she stole it along the route. But this is, as Manuel said, which I'm in total agreement, this was premeditated. And I'm a little more optimistic today than I was yesterday that there might be a co-conspirator somewhere where they're transporting this child or other children. Like I said, I'm not 100% convinced. Again, this picture was over 2 years old for certain. And I don't know why there's not more recent. I got 10,000 pictures of my grandchildren in my phone. So I don't know why there would be this lapse and why there's not a more current photo. But again, I have confidence in the FBI that they have more information, that they're spoon feeding the media. They got to walk agreed with Manuel. There are child protective services that would charge this woman with child endangerment just by providing an unsafe environment. That's really all they need in California. The statute says that. And the child doesn't even have to be really in harm's way. You just have to be a bad decision maker as a parent, and you could be charged with child endangerment. So I think that the FBI is a little ahead of us on this. And as this, they're going to release more evidence. There's a motive to why they're not arresting her. I think they want to just surveil her, who she's contacting, where she's going, and I think that probably is what their investigative tactics are at the moment.
Yes, excellent points, Lieutenant. So we all here seem to be in agreement that there was some purpose that she took Melody on this trip for, and we all are suspicious of trafficking, not necessarily of homicide. It seems that we're not thinking she left California to do a murder when she could do that back home. So dovetailing off of what Lieutenant Gould just said about suspicion with co-conspirators, Manuel, I want to go to you on this. Let's keep analyzing under this theory that perhaps she was taken to be trafficked. How would Melody know where to take her? Must there be co-conspirators then, if that's the situation?
Yes, I agree with Mike. There's most likely co-conspirators. And the fact that she changed the plate, she's wearing wigs, she did a one-way trip, okay? It leans more towards trafficking, not a murder, okay? But remember, Julie, trafficking is a murder. You know why? Because at the end of the day, when they're done human trafficking you, 98% of the people get killed. Maybe 2% luckily escape. The problem is, like Mike said, she needs to be arrested for child endangerment. Julie, you and I have seen numerous cases where the parent doesn't discuss where the body is. Perfect example, Manuel Haro. The fact is, this woman is not going to talk. The only way you're going to loosen her tongue is to get her in jail and for a judge to force her to speak. This is the only way. The nice gloves have to be taken off, California. Let's get her in jail.
Preach, my friend, preach. I couldn't agree with you more, Manuel. I've been saying cuff her since they gave her that warning and never made good on it. Don't even get me started. Why bother if you're going to do that? Yeah, great minds think alike, don't we? We're all in agreement on this segment. Throw the mom in jail and let's get this precious girl home. Manuel Gomez, we got to say goodbye to you. You got cases to work. Thank you so much for the great insight and expertise. Lieutenant Gould, thank you as well. You're coming with us. Friends at home, stay right there. Here's what's coming up.